Revelations, Moments of Light, with Toro the Decoder. Like a door that opened, entering an enormous library, and me receiving everyday revelations, which I called in the beginning faxes and emails, and giving me information, or better said answers, regarding questions I hadn't even asked. In the beginning this was happening at random, and me writing notes and sometimes pages, and later in life this happened frequently during the early morning hours. Seemingly, I needed all the help I could get, and because reading was not my thing, it came from within, as I believe that everything is within. Endless revelations, clues and insight, reflections, and then writing it off and away by writing it down. My way of going through the adventure of life. It all made so much sense, as it helped me to become a better person, looking at life and situations from another angle, and it helped me to stay awake and aware on the evolution path I was put on, and to meditate. After many years, these revelations becoming more and more, it was not easy to keep up with it, as I changed them into stories, conversations, articles, and under other headings, and all of it written in a fantasy world. In addition, sometime later in my life, and reading them more in depth, I started to narrate them, confirming that I was not a reader but a writer, and this time listening to the information. This was the way to fill in spare time in a constructive way for me, and when I reached 70 years of age, a creative way of filling time. But at the same time, and in the same time, the taste for external life was decreasing, as sitting for inner silent prayer and meditation was the only taste left. For a moment, I was looking at many individuals getting older and slowly becoming deaf, as they didn't want to hear things anymore. They slowly were losing their sight, as they didn't want to see it anymore. They lost the taste for life, as they had become numb as a result of all the food addictions. Then slowly they were losing their memory, as they didn't want to deal with it anymore. Vitality, flexibility, play and zest was gone, and on top of it having many physical ailments and restrictions. Just tired and consumed after having been in the consuming and consumer world. All this, with some minor physical restrictions and aches, was not happening in my life, and I had kept my health and vitality in good condition. However, there was no attraction to go anywhere. The taste for life was diminishing, and although I still had the playful discipline to nourish and care and do some fitness, and there was world-wise nothing missing, it was still confusing. I had become indifferent to everything and everybody. However, having said this, I was still caring and loving and serving. The world as I saw it was just shadows, shadows of confusion and endless illusions, suffering and go on, and all making no sense at all anymore. But this was just many shadows and layers and masks of me dying, and probably the result of him getting me out of the way through his meditation. The revelation came that it was all going in the right direction, but I had no direction anymore, except for sitting to meditate. My physical body was not dying yet and actually in good shape. I had a smile on my face, I had a deep love for everybody around me, although not being attached to them or getting emotionally affected, but at the same time completely lost, and that was also a part of getting me out of the way. I don't know how I got through the days. Did the basics, served and cared, and tried still to keep up with the narrating, writing and posting, and waiting for something to change. One day it all became too much. I had a website running, an Instagram and 7 YouTube channels, and although not in a commercial way, I still had hundreds of hours to narrate, and at the same time so many new ones revealing themselves, all daily revelations on endless subjects, waiting to be transformed into stories in other forms. I looked back at my real base in life, which was sitting for meditation, which was a process to get me out of the way, for I was an illusion, like everything around me, including my stories, all part of an ever-changing reality, and thus not real and forever. The sitting was thus to free the soul inside, but even when sitting, so many revelations came to the surface and actually interfering with the meditation, which I had to come to understand that not me was meditating, but God, in order to get his soul uncovered and clean and back. The same day, me again realizing that life's purpose was to get me out of the way, I opened my mind to possibly get AI, being artificial intelligence, assist me with my writing and narrating. Maybe that could happen, or something else, as there was so much. But I needed to realize first something else, and the revelation came. First of all, these revelations would never stop, as there were infinite revelations to get a glimpse of God and his creation, and information to become a better person and to understand life from a higher or different perspective. I needed to be open to stop this stream of revelations from my point of view, and realized that all God does is revealing himself. All is about God himself. Nothing else exists outside of him. Only me, with a limited understanding that had created a reality that actually didn't exist, was in the way. When I stayed in meditation, and also walking and carrying this with me all day, remembering and being with his name in his word and his eternal life stream, he could look through my eyes. He could hear, taste, smell, sense his creation and his creations, and even me, a self-created illusion and dream. I was so limited, but he is unlimited. I experienced everything in parts and pieces, and he all in and as one, united. The only thing he sees is the beauty and potential, and everything is thus one big revelation, one ongoing miracle, and in this dream world or illusion, an evolution process and involution process. In the end, it will be as it all began and always is and always will be. Only him. Now came another challenging part of the adventure to the surface, and staying clear when he was experiencing the creation through me or when it was still just me. I had luckily many moments in my life, moments of complete contentment, acceptance, happiness, and love. I express them in words, but actually there are no words to describe them. But definitely, from a human perspective, there had been no judgment, no preference. There had been no opposite. Time didn't exist. They had been moments of infinity, total bliss and peace. So, here I had the evidence when it was him, and for me it was just to continue on the path he had set out for me, to get out of the way and to be part of freeing his soul inside of this body. What a revelation!